It's in Genesis, the 38th chapter and stuff, when it came down to Judah and the woman and stuff. I forget her name. I know her name started with a T, actually. I get it. Just to make sure. I think her name is like Tara or something like that. But nah, it ain't Tara. It's Tamar. You see, Tamar. And what she did was that she tried to play the harlot, you know what I'm saying, because she thought that Judah, you know what I'm saying, which is the progenitor and stuff, which he was named Judah, but he became a nation afterwards. The thing is that she tried to play the harlot and whatnot and stuff, you know what I'm saying, because she thought that that was Salah and stuff growing up, the man that she was betrothed to or promised to and stuff to deal with, you know what I'm saying, and she dealt with the father instead of with the son and whatnot and stuff, you see, right? And it's gonna be a lot of females out there and stuff who's gonna try to use that just so they can cleave onto you and stuff. So watch out if that's not a female that you want to fuck with, right? So this is Genesis chapter 11, well, according to the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? If she a prostitute, hey, you could, if she sold it and that's how she went for it and whatnot, and she ain't give it for free, then guess what? Hey, you discard them, you know what I'm saying, right? Because of how she came, right? But besides that, you know, Pastor Hara was going into something that sounds very cringeful for a lot of you individuals and stuff. And what the cringeness is that you know, when you read Leviticus the 18th chapter and stuff, it doesn't say anything about it going off and stuff with dealing with your niece, having sex with your niece, because that is marriage. Marriage is sex. It ain't putting a ring on it. It ain't doing filing no papers and stuff according to Esau's contracts and stuff. No, it's according to having sex with a female. You see, that is marriage. But then you also have forbidden ones, once again, that don't count in Isaiah 4:1 and stuff that would not get you women saved. That would not get your shame taken away of. You see, right? So this is Genesis. This is another one that might be a cringe. You know what I'm saying? That cringe is you could deal with your cousins. This is Genesis 11 and 27. It says, now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, which later down the line his name became Abraham after the Lord had changed it. You know what I'm saying? You got Nahor. It says, and Haran begat Lot. You see, right? So now I want to go to Genesis 25 and 20. It's Genesis 25 and 20. It says, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethel, the Syrian, right, of Padanaram, the sister to Laban or Laban, the Syrian. You see, so Rebekah was a Syrian, you see, you know, right? Isaac was a Shemite, you see, right? So let's get this. This is still in the book of Genesis, the 29th chapter. Bear with me. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, then Jacob went, and remember when you read in Genesis the 25th chapter and stuff, or if it's the 27th, no. If it's in the 26th or the 28th chapter, it's one of those, right? Where Rebecca had told Jacob and stuff to run to Padanaram, you know what I'm saying, because her brother was there, which is Laban, you see, right? So this is Genesis 29 and 20 and 1. 29 and 1, it says, then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. It says, and he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it, for out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered. The stone from the well's mouth was pretty much a covering, a lid, right? It says, but it was a big ass rock. It says, and watered the sheep and put the stone again upon the whale's mouth in his place. Verse 4, it says, and Jacob said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we. You know what I'm saying? So those was descendants of Haran. You see, you know, who Lot came from, right? Verse 5, it says, and he said unto them, know ye Laban, the son of Nahor? You see, right? So, um, forefathers, Abraham, it's like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you see, right? So when it come down to when it come down to Jacob, you know what I'm saying, if uh uh if Rebecca, you know what I'm saying, if Rebecca and Laban was brother and sister and stuff, guess what that means? That means that Laban was Jacob's uncle, you see, because Isaac married into the family by having sex with Rebecca. And if Rebecca had a brother named Laban, then guess what? That would make him his brother-in-law. But with Isaac begetting Jacob, or through Rebecca and whatnot and stuff, then that means that Laban or Laban's uh, 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 nephew will be Jacob. You see, right? So let's keep going. It says, verse 6, and he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. So what if Laban or Laban is the brother-in-law of Isaac and stuff, right? Then what will make Jacob? Jacob will be looked upon as the nephew and whatnot and stuff, right? So if Laban has a daughter and her name is Rachel and stuff, right? Then guess what? That makes them cousins, right? So let's keep reading. And it says, verse 6, it says, and he said unto them, is he well? And they said, he is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. And he said, lo, it is yet high day, probably I think high day, I believe that's like noon. It says, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep and go and feed them. And they said, we cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the whale's mouth. Then we watered the sheep. It says, and while he yet spake with them, Rachel, no, it's like it says, and while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. You see, because Laban only had daughters; he didn't have no sons. He had Rachel and Leah and Rachel, because Leah was the firstborn and Rachel was the youngest daughter. Verse 10, it says, and that's also how that they stayed underneath the customs and stuff, because when it came down to Isaac, you know, uh, uh, the firstborn, which was Esau, was supposed to get the blessing. You know what I'm saying? Right? And Laban, he pretty much told Jacob that guess what? And according to how we roll, you know what I'm saying, the firstborn is the one who get the blessing. And who was the firstborn? Leah. Rachel was the second daughter, you see, right? So verse 9, shows that they stayed underneath the same customs, you see. And it says, verse 9, it says, and while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, you see, right? Meaning that Laban was his uncle. It says, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, and he said it twice, because the Lord said, the scripture says in Joel 33 and 14, I believe it says that the Lord speak once or twice and men perceive it not. So the Lord speak it twice. It says, and Jacob went near and rolled the stone from from the whale's mouth and watered the flock, and Laban, his mother's brother, so that they go understanding 3 times, right? You know, it says, verse 11, it says, and Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother. It says, and that he was Rebekah's son. and she ran and told her father and stuff. That's because Rebecca was the sister or auntie of Rachel. You see, right? Verse 13, it says, and it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son. You see, it says that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him. Now, I mean, he was, they went busting slob and shit and stuff like no homosexual men. What was going on and stuff is that it was a greeting like the Italians do. They kiss up on the cheek and stuff. You see, right? It says, embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. It says, and Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone of my flesh, meaning they was the same people. You know what I'm saying, right? Because he did come. You still are what your mom, you still are what your father is and stuff. You know what I'm saying. The thing is that uh, 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 he you still have the genes of your mother and whatnot and stuff, so they were still all the same, right? It says, and he abode with him the space of a month, and Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore, because Laban was just, with Isaac dealing with Rebecca, you know what I'm saying? Laban was, the families was married in onto each other. You know what I'm saying? For all those and stuff who watch, what's it called? Game of Thrones and whatnot and stuff, or those medieval times, they really go into that. They go into that, right? So this is they go into, marrying into each other families and stuff, you know what I'm saying, right? And it's the same way when it comes down to the scriptures. It's no different. You see? It's no different even till this day and stuff. The thing is just that you don't need a fucking contract to make some shit solidified and stuff. It's the action, right? So it says, verse 15, it says, and Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? You know what I'm saying? And what are wages? The end result of what you work for. You see, right? Verse 16. So Laban is asking Jacob, how you want to get paid? Verse 16, it says, and Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel, which Leah and Rachel was both Jacob's cousins. You see, right? Verse 17, it says, Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. It says, and Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. It says, verse 20, it says, and Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto, he was sprung. It says, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her and stuff. And that also shows that Laban had betrothed her onto Jacob and stuff, meaning that your father was the one who chose who the female was going to get with. It's not women are not supposed to choose, you know what I'm saying, who they going to get with, because look what they do. They build up a record of hoism. You know what I'm saying? You see, they build up a record of, I'm not going to say the word whore and whatnot. I'm going to say the word hoe. You know what I'm saying? You see, you know, you become those things and stuff, you know what I'm saying, because you choose the wrong guys, or you choose the same type of guy or the same type of personality or the same type, you know what I'm saying, even though the outward appearance and stuff is different or of a different shade or however they manipulate themselves to look a certain type of way and stuff. So like if it's using it that way, right? But the thing is that women choose the same thing. You say that men ain't shit and stuff, but you go after the same niggas and stuff that's gonna always cause you to sit up here and say that men ain't shit. This is why you ain't supposed to choose. And when it comes down to men having daughters, men don't want their daughters and stuff to be sluts. So when they see a good man and stuff, or a man that would do you well and whatnot and stuff, they try to get you to try to get with them. You probably ain't feeling him and stuff because you don't want to seem like a lame or a goofy or this, that, and a third, according to how the peer pressure will come upon you when it comes down to this world. Well, guess what? Your father has good sights for you. You see? No father wants to hear about how his daughter is a fucking porn star and doing dicks. A thought. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Especially if you raised your daughter a specific way and stuff so she wouldn't have to have shame like that being placed upon her. You see? Because look what happened when fathers didn't have the choice to choose the correct men for their daughters and stuff. What happened and stuff? They became hoes. Which is a shame. And they glorify it to this day. Look at the slut walk. They want to make it into a good thing. It would never be a good thing. Because all somebody got to do is put emphasis on the word that you're trying to make good. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You're going to feel some type of way. Why? Because that word is not supposed to be for anything good at all. You delusional. You women. Right? So, I'm going to read verse 20 again. Genesis 29:20. It says, and Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. It says, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. So what did he have to do? He had to work for her. So that shows that she's some sort of property. You're paying for her. He had to work for her. He ain't just give her up for free. It's like, nah, nigga, you gonna have to work for this. I'm gonna get some type of servitude up out of you. You know what I'm saying? No offense. I'm just putting in hood terms. You know, nigga form, like I like to call it. Nigga form, right? You know, everybody likes to get offended by being called a nigga and stuff, but you call motherfuckers niggas every day. So I ain't trying to hear that shit. You see? So the thing is this. Uh um he had to work 7 years. 7 years. 365 days. 7 years for what we know right now, so it could have been different. But he had to work he had to work 7 years, 7 whole years. You know what I'm saying? You know, just so he can so he could uh, 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 get with the wife that he was looking for. You know what I'm saying? And uh, 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 no offense, you know what I'm saying, for how I use the word and whatnot and stuff, but well, nah. But how I'm using it and stuff, LeBron finna do some nigga shit. Let's read. It says, verse 21, it says, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in onto her and stuff. And that go in is to have sex, to fuck her. Ain't no putting no ring on it. That ain't doing shit. Now you can still glorify your woman and stuff. You know, you could, shine her out if you want to and stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you got a car and whatnot, you ain't gonna keep it putty and stuff unless that's all you can afford. But if you can afford a new paint jobs, rims and stuff, you most definitely gonna do it, ain't you? So if you have it and stuff, you gonna deck her ass out too. You ain't finna just be the only one rolling around and stuff with gold and precious clothing and stuff, but then have her ass still bummy as hell. You ain't finna do that because that makes you look a certain type of way. So you ain't finna do that, right? So this is so you could do that and stuff, but to each his own and stuff, because they are property. Women were created for men. The earth was created for men. They can say no all they want to and stuff, but I bet they won't prove a goddamn thing when it comes down to the scriptures. I bet they won't. They gonna go off their opinion, right? And I'm talking about you women. You gonna say based off how you feel and whatnot, but I need scriptures. Because the scripture says, let every man be a liar, but the Lord be true. And I'm giving you his word. We can go into other translations and stuff. And guess what? It's going to give you a more straight up answer. If the Bible, if the King James version and stuff is too parabolic for you or metaphoric for you, or you can't get it, we can go somewhere else where it can give you a more straight and blunt forward answer, which you still going off Big Jaw platonic friends and stuff. When she found out that last dude that she talking about, oh, I know he ain't gonna be like that. As soon as she was like, yeah, if I had a chance, I'll go for what she tried to do. Hurry up and turn end the phone call and whatnot and drop the phone and stuff because she didn't like the fact that Big Jaw was right. There's a lot of these women, they gonna be on that same shit, right? So this is verse excuse me for the harsh language and the odious words and whatnot and stuff, right? Very abrasive. This is Genesis 21 and 29 and 21. It says, and Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled that I may go in unto her, meaning have sex. You know what I'm saying? It says, and Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, it says, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her, right? It says, and Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for a handmaid, right? A female servant for to serve another female. It says, and it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah, and he said to Laban, what is this that thou hast done? What is this thou hast done unto me? It says, did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? You know what I'm saying? Tripped him up. That's because Laban ain't give him all the details and stuff, and Jacob should have known. He should have known, but he was sprung. You know what I'm saying? He was focused on Rachel and stuff, right? Verse 26, it says, and Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn, because the firstborn is the ones who get the blessing. You see? Verse 28, it says, and Jacob did so and fulfilled her week. And when you go into that week, it's not talking about 7 days. It's the word Shabbai, or Shabbai really, but Shabbai and stuff, since it was current in this time, you know what I'm saying? It means sevened, you see? Specifically of years, 7 years. So this week was 7 years. It wasn't just 7 days. It says, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also, and Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. It says, and he went in unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord Yahweh saw that Leah was hated, he opened her wombs, but Rachel was barren, meaning that, Rachel was somebody you can bust nuts in and stuff, and she wasn't gonna get pregnant. Her tools wasn't tied. You know what I'm saying? She still had eggs and everything and whatnot and stuff, but the Lord just wasn't making her get pregnant and stuff because it was unfair. You know what I'm saying? You see, you know, you know, right? And right. So when it comes down to it and stuff, Rachel and Leah, or Leah and Rachel, you know what I'm saying, were cousins, first born cousins. You know what I'm saying? First first generation cousins. And if Rachel might be the second because she was like the younger, you know what I'm saying, but nah, she wouldn't be second generation. She'll still be first generation. So that means that Leah and Rachel was considered as first cousins. You see? They was considered as first cousins, meaning that, if you have an uncle and they have daughters, you know what I'm saying, and you the uncle's nephew, you know what I'm saying, and you have sex with his daughters, then guess what? That's okay, according to the scriptures. And out of them came the 12 tribes. When you continue to read on, you see, And the other part that I want to bring out is this rock or Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha chapter 44, and I'm starting verse 19. It says Abraham, right, was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him. It says he is because remember Abraham was given a covenant, Isaac was given a covenant, and Jacob was given a covenant. You see, right? It says Abraham was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High, Yahweh, and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, Genesis 17, and when he was proved, he was found faithful. It says, therefore, he assured him by an oath that he will bless the nations in his seed, right? That's plural. I mean, not plural, that's singular, seed. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Abraham had Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael are the so-called Arabians to this day. Ishmael still Ishmael still got blessed and whatnot, but he didn't get the covenant. And the scriptures is showing this, right? It says, and that he would, so that shows that there's still a chosen line, even though it's many seeds. You see? Because look, Isaac had Jacob and Esau, but Jacob was the one who got the covenant, not Esau. You see? Right? So that shows that the Lord has favoritism. That shows that the Heavenly Father, you know what I'm saying, is racist. When it comes down to the word racist, the word race, your ethnicity and stuff, IST means to be before your race. That's why it says in Matthews 1 and 21 that he came to save his people. That HIS is a personal pronoun, right? His people and stuff, you see, meaning those who are Israelites, because Yahushua was a Judite by his father Joseph, and you read all the way from Matthew's 1 and 1 and stuff. It says the generations of Yahushua. You see who the world inly calls Jesus Christ, which is not his true name. His true name is Yahushua. You see, right? So verse 21, it says, therefore, he assured him by an oath that he will bless the nations in his seed, right? Now it's talking about Abraham, right? But who got the covenant? Isaac. Who got it afterwards? Jacob, right? We're going to see who it rests upon. It says, in that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth. We are the sands of the sea. You see, looking like everything. You got a bunch of beaches and stuff that don't always have white sand or brown sand. You know, you got ruddy sand out there too, right? It says exalt. It says and exalt his seed as the stars and cause them to inherit from sea to sea. Meaning everywhere that we placed our foot on, there's a scripture that says that, you know what I'm saying, we own, right? It's just that America would no longer be inhabited. It says, and from the river onto the utmost part of the land, it says, verse 22, which Isaac did, he established likewise for Abraham, his father's sake, the blessing of all men, and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. You see, Abraham had many sons. Isaac had more than one son. Jacob had more than one son, right? You see, right? And Jacob's name was later turned to Israel, which is Yasharallah. Yah meaning he, Shar meaning prince, and Allah meaning power. Not the ALLAH and stuff as the Muslim, but as the Hebrew way, AHLA, which means power or God, right? It says it says he acknowledged him in his blessings. It said in his blessing and gave him an heritage and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them. So when it comes down to anybody out here who's part of the 12 tribes, if you are a so-called Negro and you from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, whatever you want to call yourself, if you know your roots or you want to know oh, you say that you know where you come from or a little bit of your heritage and whatnot and stuff. If it resides within the 12 tribes, if you a Judite and you fucking with an Israelite woman and stuff, you know what I'm saying, which is the so-called Mexicans and stuff, guess what? You're fucking your cousin. You're having sex with your cousin. We don't know if it's first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We don't know. All it is that you're having sex. You're having sex with your cousin. Because if you have 12 sons, well, outside of Daniel, the tribe of Dan, no, not Daniel, but outside the tribe of Dan, you know what I'm saying? You had Manasseh and stuff who was adopted into the fold and stuff to be one of the 12, as you see in Revelations, the 7th chapter. The thing is that all of them are brothers. They're brothers, blood brothers. You see, that came out of two women out of the same father, blood brothers. You see, and the thing is that Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, uh, uh, Issachar, Zebulon, Asher, they're all brothers. Just imagine a female, you know what I'm saying, or you could do it, because it's by your father. You know what I'm saying? So if you have two females and stuff and they, there's six children here, six children there, it don't matter and stuff. It's still your seed that come out of your balls and stuff that brought forth these children and whatnot. She was just eating for two. You see, right? The thing is this, if they all from the Father, and according to the scriptures, it says that you are what your father is and stuff. When it comes down to that and stuff, and that was the beginning of the 12 tribes and whatnot and stuff, and they was the progenitors. That's why they was named the 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? But that was their actual name and whatnot, and then they became a nation afterwards. The thing is that like it. The thing is that you're having sex, if they all brothers, all blood brothers and whatnot from the same father and stuff, and they have children, later down the line, if you deal with a Mexican woman, if you a so-called black man, so-called, but from the tribe of Judah or from the tribe of Levi or from the tribe of Benjamin, you know what I'm saying, or you from the tribe of Gad or you tribe of Reuben or whatever it is, whatever tribe you are as a man, if you a Mexican and you deal with a so-called black woman, which her tribe is from the tribe of Judah and stuff, you're fucking your cousin. You're having sex with your cousin. There's nothing, it probably is. The scriptures talk about immediate family and stuff, and that's what Apostle Hart was going into when it came down to dealing with Leviticus the 18th chapter and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the scriptures don't say anything about your niece and whatnot and stuff. But look, we ain't the ones who said anything, so don't look at us as being disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't disgusting at all and stuff because all Israel followed this regimen. So guess what? You need to shut the fuck up. You've been taught another way and whatnot, but at the same time, the ones that teach you another way and stuff, guess what? They into those rebellious relationships that the Lord has forbidden and stuff, and they make that shit okay. How about you look up something that's called Pizza Gate, Pizzagate, and you'll find out that a lot of your presidents and celebrities are into that shit behind closed doors. There's a video where you had this little ass girl. She ain't even 12. She about like 10 or 8 years old and stuff. She's talking about how she has sex with grown-ups in some secret ass place and stuff for a ritual. And it's Caucasians, full-blooded and spirited Caucasians, Edomites, telling them to do this shit. Look at the Borgiers. You know what I'm saying? They was into ancestry and stuff, keeping it in the family and stuff, you see? They was doing things that was contrary against the scriptures. That's why Psalms 50 and 16 says what it says. Well, I'm telling you right now, you could deal with your cousins and it won't be going off because everybody, most people and stuff in their family, it was always those few individuals and stuff where they was just clinging to each other a little too close, and you was calling it family and stuff. But at the same time, when it come down to them being cousins, they was dealing with each other. Everybody know about that. Everybody know about that, and everybody been in that situation and whatnot and stuff. It might not be dealing with you specifically, but it might be somebody else in your family that's been doing that, and it seems normal. Why? Because of Romans, I think it's 2:14. The law unto themselves. You see, right? So as you saw, as I read, right? Genesis 40, oh no, Sirach 42, Sirach 44 and 22, it says, with Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham, his father's sake, the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage and divided his portions among the 12 tribes that he parked them. You see, right? Jacob had 12 sons. You know what I'm saying? Joseph, which was Ephraim and stuff, also had another son, which would be Jacob's grandson, which was named Manasseh, you see. And the thing is that they became the progenitors. You know what I'm saying, right? If anybody want to ask what happened to Dan, the only thing we can say is that Dan got mixed up or was relabeled, as one of the other tribes and whatnot. That's not just a sect of sons and stuff that were just discarded. No, they more than likely just got mixed up with or relabeled one of the other tribes and stuff, you see. And the thing is that if you call yourself an Israelite, if you call yourself an Israelite or you believe that you an Israelite and stuff, the thing is that if you want and you say that you from those 12 tribes, no matter how you look, the thing is that if you dealing with a female who's an Israelite as well by blood and spirit and stuff, guess what? And if she's from another tribe, you're dealing with a cousin. What's that song by Future's an old song and stuff? Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. You see? Cousins. You're dealing with cousins. Not immediate family, but cousins. That's what you're doing. You having sex with a cousin. You see? You know? So I hope this video was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua HaRachafarash. Double honors to apostles of great millstone. Salutations to your elect, which we hope to be. Shalom wa Baba Kwam Yasharala.